Secret stream, not early stream, secret stream. Bam! Maybe a bit too loud. And let's share it here as well. Andrew Maxime, are you early? How early are you? Actually, let me say, I did not check if I'm at a good focus. Looks to be a good focus. Might go a little bit closer, shall we? Maybe a bit even closer. That's enough, like that. Okay, I think I might do an autofocus. Let's see if configure video. It's not autofocus. That seems to be a good one. And that seems to be bad, and we're back to good. Okay, let's leave it here. Hopefully this works. Also, Robert usually stream when I'm working, so this is the real time, the rare time I can actually watch. Well, I'm happy you caught me then. You're off to, well, it is Sunday, you should be off. What are you working that that you have to specify that you're off? Hey Hussein, and hey Flash Nick. Just a second, I have stuff piling up everywhere. I need to clean up this work environment, and I need to rotate this camera a little bit on me. I think that's better. Okay, doing a bit of robot-ish situation today. I just want to sketch a couple of quick mechs. I want to set up a challenge for the Discord, and for that I want to see what can be done. And even though the window is open, I am sweaty. Oh boy. Hussein, Robert, I have a question. Many perspective instructors teach perspective drawing based on plan and elevation in their courses. Even Aaron Blaze and Marshall Vandruff did that. Plan and elevation. Okay. Let's see what your question is. very generic robot. So this is something that is, I think this is one of my main sayings, that I like to get the good ideas and also the bad ideas on paper, because I just want them out of my head. Because as soon as it's on paper, like, okay, I drew this already, so I'm gonna move on to the next idea. The Pocket Clock. Hey, what are you up to? Good to see you streaming again. Thank you, Pocket Clock. I'm just doing some ideation for some mechs. I would say this is more of a warm-up than proper ideation just yet. So Hussein, does it have use in non-architectural drawing? I mean, like in illustration? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by plan and elevation. Because, like, if you think, like, when you say plan and elevation, I think of a plane like this, and then elevation would be something like this on top of it, right? And then as we project this down there, this would be somewhere there. But I don't think this is what you mean, because like this is not really teaching perspective that much. I definitely think that it would be helpful in whatever you're drawing, because it'll make your drawing a lot more comprehensible. One of the core pillars in drawing. Yeah, if I would know exactly what it means, I could say, I could chime in, but I'm a little bit confused on the plane and elevation part of the comment. Is it actually hitting through, by the way? No, it's not. Okay. Then we can continue. A little warm up. Is this a new sketchbook? Yes. I have some sort of weird airplane that I didn't like, then a sketch when we were out with my wife and our son. Then I did, one of these days, I had some free time, went into the city, did some urban sketching, and this is where we are now. So yes, very, very relatively new. Very, very relatively new page indeed. Oh. I can't explain better, never mind, thank you anyways. Let me see if I can perspective drawing based on plan and elevation. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, in like how I learned perspective is that you start with the horizon line. you start your vanishing points on your horizon line, and then you connect them, and then from there you can start building your whatever you want to build up, right? And then, like, if you keep on connecting lines, technically you're building new planes on higher elevations, right? And then also if you go above it, you keep on doing the same thing. So you just keep on building these. And as you said, this is very helpful for architecture because this is how you build a building. That's why I guess this is one of the easiest ways to explain perspective. And then from here you can also go into like, okay, if a tree here is this big, then the same tree there is smaller and smaller, and they sort of disappear. So this is good for a lot. This sort of methodology, if this is what you're talking about, is good for explaining stuff like this. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I am not good at giant humanoid mechs. I want to do something that I'm a bit more familiar with. But then the question is... I'm trying to come up with an interesting challenge for mechs. So that's why I'm struggling a little bit, because I want to come up with something that is fun but also approachable, not too hard. Close but not exactly, Hussein says. Oh, sorry man. I tried my best. Okay, I have an idea. For the challenge, how about maybe mechanized animal mixes? I always like that. It's hard to say no to that. But I want to do... Okay, I do have an idea. Let's see. Hussein says, I have a picture of a composition in my mind and I draw an initial sketch and then correct perspective with guides and procreate, but I never end up like the POV I have in my mind. Try doing several sketches. Like, just instead of immediately correcting it, just on paper, do some more sketches before correcting it. I think that will that might help you. Hey Kim, welcome. May draw perspective lines with a horizon line too before you start drawing. You can also start with the horizon line if it's visible. Like, the thing is, horizon lines are not always visible, so that is going to throw you off a little bit. Okay. And here we go. Like sometime, there we go. Okay, so it was okay. It was okay. It was okay after all. I do actually like your idea, pocket clock. I might go with it. It's a fun idea. The only change I will do to it is that I will force people to come up with a profession, so-called, for the Mech that has to be linked to the animal that they're choosing. This is not easy. I'm trying to draw Barbato's Gundam. Never drew him before. He's not one of my favorite Gundams, but I like the show a lot. Holy moly. Can urban sketching be more analytical, Robert, like design sketching, or is it mostly about drawing? It is about drawing what you see, at least for me personally. Any good course? I never did an urban course. Like, honestly, I don't know what sort of course you need, courses you need for it. You just go out and you just sketch what you see. Is what I do. Like the analytical part about urban sketching is that sometimes you can't capture everything you see, and you have to make up your mind what you are going to capture and what you're not going to capture. So that forces you a little bit to think about it. Scott Robinson is a great one though. It's very technical and expensive. Yes, like how to draw from Scott Robertson should be the basis for many things. I know about this book. Yeah, it's very technique and it's not about urban sketching, but useful books. Mao. Hi, I'm really a fan of your art, your videos, thanks for all. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Mao. What's the benefit of urban sketching design-wise? I guess if you're into architecture, you can study a lot of architectural buildings. I'm not sure it has any benefit to you when you're just looking at pure design. Design sketching wise, it can help you with ideating quickly, coming up with like because you're forced to a time limit, and then you have to make pretty strict decisions what you're going to include, how much detail, how well you want to represent what you're seeing. So those sort of rapid decisions and rapid decision making is something is definitely will help you with. Like in general, that's also why I recommend figure drawing to people, because you're there and you have to choose within 5 minutes or so how you're gonna draw a pose, and then you have another 5 minutes and another 5 minutes. So there's that sort of pressure. Is good for you. Hey Alcazar, welcome. What can help with proportions while sketching? Depending what you're sketching, but for example, I'm looking at this Mech here. Here, let me draw it with red, and then I see like the figure drawing thing, that you look at the head. The head is this tall. This is a unit X. Now, how many times does X fit into my drawing? So you measure it out, and then you start drawing, and then if you see that X is not enough in there, then you already know that, okay, so something is wrong here, and then you start looking, and then you see, okay, X fits into the leg, let's say 3 times. But if you look at your X, does it fit 3 times, or is it too little or too much? So I always compare. I take one part of my drawing and I just compare it to everything else. So here what I was doing, I was looking at this window. Actually not at the, what was it? Oh yeah. So I was looking at these windows. We had 3 windows, and I knew that the middle window has to sort of touch this ledge here. So I knew, okay, so let me draw the windows in a way that it fits, and then I pre-drew it with my pencil until it fitted. And I was also like, okay, so I have these 2 rows of windows, and they have to align with this and sort of be in the middle of there. So I keep on drawing and redrawing until I see a sort of a good fit. By the way, I realize I'm doing a very tiny drawing. Sorry for that. I want to draw a more accurate building for my illustration, time period wise. Any site or book on that? I mean, probably architectural book is what you need, but which time period and what sort of architecture? Like Middle Eastern, European, Chinese, Southeast Asian. It depends a lot on what you want to draw, which cultures, architecture. Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome. Eyewitness books, maybe. I mean, the best thing is if you know that you have some buildings in your city that would fit. Best thing would be if you go out and do some observation sketches yourself. What the hell are we listening to? It's a big minus, thank you. What the hell was that? It's always, and when you're drawing buildings, when you need buildings, I would always recommend just use a reference. I don't think you need books for that, because that is all about looking up the correct reference and using that. I think that would be much more beneficial than having a book, because you can always look up specific reference for whatever you need. And the book just won't be able to do that specific stuff for you. I used to do more bird eye view of my illustration, and there are so little references for that. What do you do face lack of reference for a view that you have in mind? I usually don't need reference for a view. I just make stuff up. So I think because I have a relatively big visual library, that helps a lot. Do I have anything anywhere? For example, for this robot, like I have reference, like I'm looking at reference now for this robot, but I could easily just turn it around as well and draw it from the back, and I would make up my own reference just because I've drawn and seen enough robots to know what it looks like. So if you need bird's eye view of something, just do a couple of bird's eye view studies of different buildings and see how you can take some of those details and memorize them. Like try to recreate them just by yourself, see what you can come up with. And then down the line you will start just being able to come up with your own stuff. need to buy new India ink. This seems to be a bit dead. Is it even worth it for an illustration? What do you mean by is it worth it? Going out for reference or gathering reference is always worth it. But you have to make sure that you don't focus on just getting one specific reference, because many different references could work for you. I definitely need more ink. Bit too thick, eh? There we go. Let's take some of it away and add it immediately back. Okay, let's add a bit of the ground as well. All right, and now to do what Clockwork suggested, the animal mechanical thing. I think I'm gonna try that now. Do. Oh, that's a cute one. Okay, let's see. Whoa, where are we? Where are we? Might be a bit easy. So I wanted to go with chicken, but then chicken is basically very, like, looks like a mech in many ways, like dinos look like mechs a little bit. So I thought, okay, so what is a little bit harder to do? And maybe a frog or a toad? I'm still deliberating a little bit. Because I think I drew a toad/frog robot before, so that would be a bit repetitive. Maybe because you are a designer, for illustration too much detail isn't necessary. Well, for illustration you have areas that have a lot of detail and areas that have less detail, because you don't want detail everywhere, so you draw the eye where there's less detail, and then the rest of the picture, the eye can rest a little bit. Nico Corti, no, you're not late, you're still good. I also drew a rhino. Elephant, I don't think I ever drew. But then the idea is, okay, elephant. Let's see, elephant. The idea is that I want it to be a mech that sort of serves a purpose that the animal would do. Where did I put? There it is. So, Elephants, like I remember from when I was a kid that in India they use them to carry stuff, right? They have their trunk and then they carry logs and whatnot. Elephants are big, heavy, so I'm thinking construction. Not sure how nimble they are. Is there advice still falling circle inside square perspective? Still failing circle inside square. I had videos on that. Did they not help? Like where are you getting stuck? I'm still drawing Wally bots for uni. HS. I'm doing an artist bot. That's nice. Why do you need to do that for uni? Maybe water locomotive animal, whale or prehistoric animal like a lipider. Jesus. How about camel? Actually, I do like camel. I might pivot to camel. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see camel. So camel I see as like one big maybe water container, and then you have the legs around it. I do like that. I just need a couple of iterations for it. Okay, let's see. Where do I have my pencil? I had an eraser here somewhere, didn't I? There it is. Scout type animal guarding, hyena, jackal, birds. Usually I go for scouts. I have a lot of that, but I think camel should be fun. So carrying a big container in the middle, 4 legs. not. Also, like I would like to step not too close to the camels. I would like it to look a little bit different. That would be nice. Somehow my circles look off, like didn't look good on top left side. The square in 2-point perspective. Camel. Okay, flash neck. All right, let's do a quick one. Okay. Let's take a break from our camel. We will come right back, Mr. Camel. Let's explain something to Mr. Nick here, Flash Nick. All right, we have a horizon line. And, well, let me make it a little bit longer. We have a vanishing point here, and we have a vanishing point here. Now I try to hit them as well as I can. Okay, and then from here as well into that vanishing point, and from here as well into that vanishing point. Now, if this is our square, let me just measure out the middle somewhere here. And then let me draw a couple of, yeah, there we go, something like that. I'm doing this with red pencil so I don't have too many black lines. And then we can just draw it in with black. And then we can add, all right, there we go. So we're gonna have, these are sort of the same squares as they shrink in perspective, right? Now, how do we put an ellipse in here? Well, it's relatively easy. You just try to hit all these spots is one method. So you just keep on drawing an ellipse until you hit all the spots. And then all you do is, okay, I hit there, I hit there, I hit there, and I hit there. This needs a little bit of correction. And then if we split this up like this, you always, let me take this, are going to have two shorter ones that are relatively rounded, and two, I have a red one here as well, and two longer, well, it's not half circle but fourth of a circle. And this is gonna happen every time. So here as well, I know I have to hit here, somewhere there, and somewhere there. And I just try to estimate the circle as well as possible. That's why I did it without the black there, because otherwise, like if you do it with the black, you get all these. So here, I will estimate it a bit more like that, and now I know I have to hit there, 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 and there. And I'm just gonna try to fill this circle in as well as I can. So this is one method, right? The other method would be let me do another one. Okay. So we have this square here. I sort of try to estimate where its center point is, and then I try to put the ellipsis center point there. It's never exactly this point. It hovers a little bit around. In one of my videos I explained why it's not that point. But now we have, yeah, let me take a ruler so we have an exact sort of thing here. This goes blah 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 blah. So this is the minor axis of our ellipse, and if this is somewhere where our center line is, I need something that is perpendicular onto this, it would be a line like this. Right? And this will be my major axis. And now, basically, how do we draw an ellipse? We have major axis, minor axis, and then we try to draw an ellipse on it, right? So that's the same thing I'm doing here, but now I still have to keep in mind that my ellipse has to touch the top and the bottom, and the two sides in the middle. So I still have my ellipse here, something like that. Something like this, and then this with the construction. So I hope this helps a little bit. Nico Corti, it will be great if you do another video like the Fallout one, where you show all the design poses, because now that I'm doing this Wally bot, it's super hard for me to make different alternatives. Well, take that take that Fallout video and apply it to to your robot. It's the same steps, right? First find the parts, then Scott Robertson. How do you do to not use the horizon line and just know where to put things? That's crazy. I use okay. I thought I made a video on this. So that's why everybody talks about boxes and the draw box as well. If I have a box here and I'm just putting it into a weird ass different perspective. So if this is my box, what I know is that if I follow, oh actually let's not do red. I have green somewhere here. Give me a second. Here's my green. Okay. So what I do in my head is that these two are going to meet somewhere in a vanishing point. And these two are going to also meet somewhere in a vanishing point. But clearly I can't draw that. So what I'm doing is, if I blow this up here, it's something like this and that, right? With a vanishing point and a vanishing point. Now I don't care about the vanishing points. What I care about is that this is an angle. If I find the center of this angle, then I can say, okay, so this is the center, which means that I can add more same sort of angles to these that go to the same vanishing point. So I look at this is sort of a center, and then I try to draw lines that are at the same angle and then go to the same vanishing point. And then same on this side. So this goes somewhere there, this line goes somewhere there, and then I start bending, well not bending them, but tilting them, so I make sure that they go in the same vanishing point. And I have this in my head now, and then all I have to do is just follow those lines everywhere, and then just set up a new box that follows these lines in my head, and these go. I don't care about the vanishing points because I know they're obviously not completely parallel, but they sort of follow those lines. And in my head I have all these things where everything is just set up like that. And that's how I do things without actually needing horizon lines. Okay, back to this one. What about drawing circles in 3-point perspective? Same thing. 3-point perspective is same thing. Really, there's not any difference there. Jojo, Get Scott Robertson's book, How to Draw to Learn Some Good. Yeah, exactly. It's just for some people that is a little bit too dense. So be prepared for a lot of very hardcore stuff there. Where's the music? Oh, I just listened to this one. Okay. Back 06, 05, 02. There we go. So I want this to be sort of like a platform, and that big egg water container, whatever it is in this case, can be moved in and out of it. The question is, I like these to at least look functional, and then why would the Mech have the head or the neck of a at least something that looks like a camel? The new Dune game had good spaceship design like Dragonfly. Game or movie? I haven't seen the game yet. Like the MMO, you mean, right? I didn't really follow that one. I'm not into MMOs. So I see at night you would need, let's say we are on some sort of planet where you need a whole assortment of sensors and different cameras. So I can live with that. It's good to have it on a high swivel. I mean, I like the basic idea. It's a bit lazy, I would say, but it also works. So, meh. I have a couple of good camel references that I like. I like this one in mid-run. Maybe this will give me also some good ideas. Do you ever draw post-apocalyptic theme? Rarely, but yes. I was never that into the post-apocalypse because I like to design things, and post-apocalypse is all crafting, less designing. And I would rather draw for worlds that where I can design stuff like nice and shiny, new mechs, nice and shiny, this or that. And the post-apocalypse, nothing is going to be like properly designed. Like you always have to use whatever is at your disposal. And that sort of world building is every now and then I'm into it, but I would say most of the time it's just not something that I care about too much. Well, technically it's a mech. It does not need a pilot, I would say, this one. That is my conclusion. You just fill it up and it will do its rounds. I had an 05 here somewhere. Not 05, 02. There it is. Hey Matze, welcome. Camel drone platform. No, we're not. We're being not military today for once. For once. apocalypse, post-apocalypse. I see. Good one. Good one. Hey, Ansh. Welcome. Post-apocalypse, mail apocalypse. That's I have not heard that one actually. It is. I have to commend you on that one. Okay. It's not a good reference. Okay. Something like this. Question: have you ever thought it this way? Am I robot sketching expert, or have I just become comfortable in one thing? Do these kinds of thoughts bother you? No. Well, first of all, I'm by far not a robot sketching expert. There are tons and tons of people way better at sketching robots than I am. But I know I'm comfortable with robots, as I really enjoy drawing them. I mean, for me, what you see me doing on YouTube, is a hobby. This is not what I do for a living. So hobby-wise, of course I want to draw better and better, but I know that by drawing mostly robots I'm limiting myself a little bit. But then again, every now and then I draw humans when I feel like it, but I just know it's not my strength. Also because I just don't enjoy it drawing as much as I enjoy drawing robots. So I'm fine with just I guess accepting my shortcoming. And also, like when I was younger, I was obviously worse at drawing, and I was putting in more effort into rounding out my skills. So getting a little bit better at humans, getting a little bit better at other stuff. But as I grow older, I'm just like, yeah, if I want to have fun drawing robots, I'm just gonna have fun drawing robots. And I still have a little bit of a designer mentality, is that, like, for me it's about expressing ideas a lot. So many times if I have a silly idea, I don't, like, for this, like, for example, even if I wanted to draw humans on it, I would just add like a scribble person that you would recognize as a person. Of course it would not be necessarily anatomically correct, but it would be enough for the purpose of conveying the message that, oh look, there's a human there. I just don't need it for what I'm doing. I don't need to draw other stuff, I guess. But also, it's not just robots. I do enjoy drawing spaceships just as much, I guess, as I do enjoy drawing robots. Are you imagining where source light before you adding shadow and shading like that? So there's just a general thing. Right-handed people tend to put their light source in the upper left corner. So most of the drawings that you will see from me, here you can see as well, the light is somewhere there, the light is somewhere there. It's just and I had a couple of left-handed friends drawing with the left hand, and they did the opposite. So their light source was in the right upper corner. It's whatever is comfortable for you and whatever you're used to. I don't really change light sources around unless I want to express something dynamic. Master Robert is only preparing to be good at drawing our future robot overlords. Either that or it's an elaborate scheme to hide his true talent of drawing sexy anime. That's it. That's it for sure. Robert played for the chess that he had skills to be spared by AI when Skynet. I mean, I am preparing to throw you all under the bus for our future robotic overlords. That's for sure. Okay, I want a camel in a slightly different pose. Let's see if I find anything good. Oh, this is not bad. Interesting. So now I'm trying to sort of use my little jumping spider. Hello, hello, mister. Hello, you're on camera. Oh, you're a world famous jumping spider now. Poop, poop. Come on, sir. Oh, don't go away. Come back. Okay, goodbye, Mr. Jumping Spider. jumping spider mech with nets for harvesting crops. Not bad. Where's my... I don't know where my other sketchbook had exactly that in it. Where do I still have it here? This is... No, I think this is it. Or am I wrong? Maybe it's not in this one? No, it should be in this. No. I might be wrong. No, I'm wrong. It's not in this one. I had the jumping, well, not jumping, but a spider, but apparently it's not in this one. And I don't know where that one is now, so that's that. Yeah, so let's do the neck area with that fabric neck thing. So this is sort of video game problem where you have these mechs and then they do all these intricate motions, but the geography actually doesn't allow them to do these motions. And I'm sort of, like the geography clips through itself. I have sort of a similar conundrum right now, because the geography of my mech technically would clip through itself, but the pose just looks cool. So that is also where like design goes out a little bit the window, because I just want to do something that looks cool as well. Horizon Zero Dawn had good mech movements. Yeah, I mean the guys worked a lot on it. I'm friends with several of the people who did the main mechs, and I know that they did a lot of studies trying to come up with ways that it looks as natural as possible. I proposed a couple of ideas myself. Sadly, I came in towards the end of the design phase, so I mostly just did some props for buildings and whatnot. But still very fun. Okay, so this reaches back here. Like I want some sort of padding / connections here for the interior. And then here I will do a little human. With a tablet that is connected to our guy. Well, guy. By guy I mean our Mech. Scroll popping by to say hi. Hello. Droids, drone, not, no. Just a camel Mech thingamajig. So this is what I meant. This is all I need to sort of convey my message. I don't need a proper human there because my emphasis is on the Mech. Kim Gressa, like this, it almost looks like an awesome seat to try. I can imagine. Yeah, that one there. Yeah, I see it. Hey, Andy Gorman from, not Down Under, but from the neighbor of Down Under, New Zealand. Just needs a sweet fabric canopy structure over the seat. Dromedary camel. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Okay, I need to break it up a little bit. It can't be too cushioned. Okay, let's get rid of some of the pencils. Other than game, my mecha come from animal back into Gundam and other than game, my mecha come from animals back in the 2000s like Zoids, Gundam and Evangelion. Anime, not animals. Me too. But then also a bunch of video games sort of snuck in there. Titanfall is a huge inspiration for me. Always go back to that one. But also like Power Rangers, a lot of Transformers. Okay, let's throw some dark onto this one as well. And then for the containers in the background, we only will use watercolor or very watered down ink in this case, because it's not watercolor, of course. Squirrely. I'm picturing a robo-camel with a large water tank on the back patrolling the desert and peddling water to thirsty nomads. Yeah, that's pretty good. The old cartoon Transformers is simple reboot design, a lot of square shapes. Yeah, I mean that's I would say that's what teaches you how to draw those squares, simple square shapes, because they're all in perspective, right? All right, I think I think I'll stop here for today. Maybe I'll add one extra layer of darkness here, but it needs to dry a little bit. If you have any questions, now it's the time to throw them my way. Also, how did your Gundam kit come out? Are you still working on it? No, I'm trying to see if I can show it to you guys. Yeah, I can. Okay. Whoop. So, let me see. Can you see it? Bam, there we go. So we have a Gundam ground type, then we have a Zaku, and then we have the Gundam RX-72 that I built. And then behind them we have a 30-minute missions and a Transformer, and then Lego. That's the situation there. Bam. Let's zoom back on this one. How's my baby? That's why I also want to stop, because my wife was taking care of the baby and I want to jump in and help out a little bit as well. He was a bit sick over the last couple of days, but in general he's very happy and growing boy, doing new things all the time. Definitely crawling, yes. He's standing up on everything. Not walking yet, but if he can, he stands up on everything. Fajn napon dúj tocins, Matzebob is gone. Let me see. I think there we're good. Okay, I will leave this here for now and I will slowly depart. Hope you guys had a good time. It was a fun little stream for me. See everybody on the flip side. Keep on sketching. Coming week, Thursday, hopefully there will be another live stream. Until then, take care, yes? Okay, bye bye.